Good morning, everybody. After a hellish snowstorm yesterday, I'm back on the road, a slippery road, but a road nonetheless. We have a nice and crisp 28 degrees here in Boston, and we're looking at a high of about 40. So, of course, I'm being careful driving out here because some of our roads are just ice. There's no blacktop, just fucking ice. That is not the easiest shit to deal with when you're driving a rear-wheel drive car. So I'm probably going to be a little, as I try to pay as much attention as I can to the road. That being said, I want to tackle a very important subject. What could be so important? Oh my God. Well, I was just thinking about, I was thinking about different family members of mine, and I was thinking about the black people that the majority of the world sees. The majority of the world sees them because the media likes to put them out there. And these are usually our poor black brothers and sisters living in poverty, or at least at the line of poverty. But then I started to wonder, why? Why is it that, our people can't seem to get their shit together? Now, when I say that, it sounds horrible. It really does. And I'm willing to admit that that sounds horrible. But what is the problem? And then I had an epiphany. I realized exactly what the problem was. The problem is our attitude towards money and our attitude towards having things and stuff and keeping up with the Joneses. We live above our means. I can't tell you how many times, and mostly this isn't a message for all black people, because obviously not all black people have this attitude towards money, nor are all black people broke, as I am a shining example of a black person who is not broke. And I tend to, so what happens, what happens that they get stuck in a situation that they can't see their way out of? They glorify these rappers, they glorify, celebrities of different kinds. It's all about the money and about what they have, but no one is willing to work for the money. And only so much of that can be blamed on the parents. Really, only so much of it can be. Because while, yes, the parents do, have a say in, what we think and how we think about certain things, because they're the ones who raise us and give us these moral values. But there's something to be said for personal responsibility. For instance, let's take the drug dealer. The drug dealer, or at least as I know the drug dealer, I'm not going to claim to know, a shit ton of drug dealers. But, the black guy who's a drug dealer in the ghetto selling his shit. Mind you, most of the shit they sell is the white folks who come into the ghetto and get out of the ghetto all to get their shit. But, oh no, there's traffic. Fuck, of course there's traffic. But here it is, they make hundreds and thousands a day, yet they live in squalor. Yeah, I've seen people walking around with gold chains, driving Bentleys, having the bomb dig ass clothes, looking a fucking 20, not even looking a 10, looking a fucking 20. And they living on West Runyon Street in Newark with no electricity. It's like, no electricity, bitch? No. So I'm not going to advocate the selling of drugs, although I feel that the easiest way to combat this drug problem or to conduct the war on drugs is to legalize them. You put them all out of business. But they're selling all this shit, and it's kind of like, if you're going to sell drugs, if that is going to be your modus operandi, if that's how you're going to make your money, why are you living in squalor? Not just living in squalor, why not do something with that money? Because as much as we would like to think Big Brother keeps tabs on all of our dollars, which they, of course, they probably do, The banks don't give a flying fuck, nor do investors give a flying fuck where you got the money. If you just say you're self-employed, go get yourself a DBA under your own name, and boom, you're self-employed, and that's how you make your money. Easy enough. You could invest that money. You could buy homes with that money. You could buy investment property with that money and actually have your money work for you. Why would you continue? I mean, you're putting your life on the line every day to sell some dope, but then you turn around and live with the crackheads as opposed to living outside of the crackheads. I don't understand it. But that just kind of goes to illustrate the attitude towards money. It's all about things and stuff, and it's not about thinking about tomorrow. It's not about thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not about thinking about, what bills they have to pay first. It's not about, and like I said, a lot of it can, you could blame a good chunk of this on the parents because the parents taught them no better. But personal responsibility, I mean, there comes a point in time when you have to say for yourself, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live here. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to do better. And without, what looks like is missing is that sense of personal responsibility, to take care of yourself and to take care of, your own business money-wise. They barely teach math in these schools. And, a lot of times parents want to go in and defend their child when their child is fucking up. But that's a completely different video. But they don't teach math in schools, at least not real math. They teach you all this higher math that the only people who need it are scientists and computer guys. But they don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you how to live on a budget. They don't teach us how to actually give a shit about the money we earn. And this is a big deal. I mean, when it takes nothing to earn the money, you don't appreciate it. It's kind of like, the coat don't matter kind of thing. You sit there, you got this expensive coat, somebody says, well, I took your coat, and you say the coat don't matter. That lets us even further know exactly what it is that you do and your attitude towards money and things. I don't buy the most expensive shit. I don't buy the cheapest shit either. But I give a damn about what the hell is mine because I worked for it. I put in the hours. And that's personal responsibility. I mean, to be quite frank and quite honest, I don't know anyone in my family. In my family, mind you, my family, I mean, the only people who live in the ghetto in my family are, some cousins. That's how they grew up, and that's just what they know, yada, 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 yada. They have no yearning to do better. I don't understand it. But the rest of my family, while not hard-pressed, we're not well off either. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anyone in my family who has good credit. And really, I think I'm the closest to having good credit, It boggles my mind. Now, why is that? They don't live in squalor, but they live above their means. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses as opposed to just worrying about themselves. They want the big TV, they want the big this, they want the big car, they want the clothes, and they get their hair did and all that other shit. They want all of that. So they spend money that they don't have on it. They go into debt or further into debt. I don't think you get any further into debt than some of my family members. But I often wonder, why is it that I'm different? And I kind of realize that a lot of that difference does have a lot to do with my mother. She may not have been the best with money, but she definitely taught me what personal responsibility means. And that I have to be responsible for myself. She can't be responsible for my finances any more than I could be responsible for her finances. But I can be responsible for my finances. I can worry about what my finances are doing. I can worry about the money that I'm making. I can think about making smarter choices. I really just think that this goes back to playing, you got to play the white man's games by the white man's rules. And the moment you step out of those rules, you can find yourself in financial ruin, or you can find yourself, in a hole that you just can't get out of. I learned his rules. I'm playing his game, and his game is all about planning. It's all about thinking ahead. It is not about thinking now. You know, even though I may be a Zen Buddhist and I'm all about living now, I'm no fool. And only a fool would fail to plan. So, what makes me so different than, you know, my other black brothers and sisters who can't get their shit together? You know, a lot of it has to do with perception. You know, people want to be cool. School isn't cool. At least, you know, our media doesn't portray school as cool. Our teachers are underpaid. You know, having a good job, making a good living, and, you know, wearing clothes that fit and speaking like you have, you know, half a goddamn brain is not cool. You're called a geek or a nerd or weak. So I guess when you have such craziness to live up to, one can only deduce that this is where we would end up. You know, that black people on the whole would end up being a non-factor financially. Now, as a gay, you know, I have a bit more of an edge. And that edge is that I don't have any children. And I'm not gonna have any damn children. You know, I didn't grow up in that culture of, oh, you know, you can't be gay. Gay is weak. You know, it's like I don't understand that idea, but you know, more of my money is more for me. So I kind of luck out that way because I'm gay. Eat that straight, folk. But yeah, I mean, you know, sound off. Why do you think African American people have such a hard time getting ahead financially? I mean, we can no longer say that the white man is keeping us down. We can't say that. We can't say that because we're doing a good job of keeping ourselves down. White man has to do nothing. And I just have to let it be known, I don't have a thing against any race, creed, or color. I don't. But we are talking in reality here. And you can't deny some realities, okay? And, you know, one of those realities is that a lot of black folk like to demonize, you know, white people. White people ain't even thinking about your ass. The only time they think about you is if they think you're going to take their shit. They're not thinking about your ass otherwise. They don't have to keep you down. They don't have to, you know, pull some magical strings to make you fail. That doesn't work. So what do you guys think it is? I think it's a lack of personal responsibility, and I think it's a lack of education within the schools. I also think it's a lack of good parenting. You know, parents allowing their children to kind of get off and get over, you know, in school, and parents who allow their kids to think that school is not cool, yada yada. But that's what I think about it. That's what I'm wondering, you know, if that's something, especially with, you know, having a black president, stuff like that, you know, if the views on just what black people can achieve changes. 'Cause, I mean, at least if the perception changes, you can get people to think outside of their microcosm. You know, you can get people to realize that, you know, things are possible. But that's all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to sound off below. Let us know what you think. Let us know. What do you think about, you know, why black folk are still fucking broke? Why the hell can't we get our shit together? Don't forget to like the video below. Don't forget to subscribe to the video. You can subscribe to Lynx Bear on YouTube. Don't forget to also subscribe to the Male Media Mind on YouTube. You can check out malemediamind.com, lynxbear.com. Find me on Facebook as Lynx Bear. You can also find my fan page as Brutal Lynx Bear. What else? Shit, I got a Twitter. You can find that at Lynx Bear. I got so many different social media shits, it's not even funny. I might be trying to put up my Tumblr soon, so keep an eye out for that. That ought to be fun. And that's all I got for you guys today. Hope everyone has a swimmingly fine day, and hope that those of us who did get snow are going to make it into work just fine. Looks like I'm going to make it into work late because there's fucking traffic. And that's all I got. You guys have a good one. Ciao.